You were in the behavioral classes in a private school?
No, no. I did some
She feeling saucy, I'm feeling sturdy. I got a 4-piece, up in the 30. They tryna hold me, she like Curry. They feeling salty, I'm feeling sturdy.
But yeah, culture question of the week. What we got, Roy?
Culture question of the week for my fellas. Um, and the short month that we have to celebrate our culture, I wanted to know, ask y'all as a culture question of the week, what is y'all most memorable uh Black History moment in Black history?
okay. Um, damn. I gotta, I gotta think about this one.
You gotta think, cause sometimes that's what your mind needs you to do. Think, man. You probably need some of this good old think good right here to help you
I'll
think
take it.
real
I'll take it. I remember two that stick out dramatically. Like when I was a kid, and the first time my mom had me watch Malcolm X, actually three. The first
That's
time
crazy.
she had me watch Roots, and also being in Washington D.C. for the second Million Man March with like Minister Farrakhan and everybody there, and like being there. That was those are probably like the most memorable ones.
Oh, that's dope. I ain't know you went to that. That's real dope right
Yeah, we
there.
went there. Yo, that's how I knew Farrakhan was the most long-winded motherfluffer there ever is on this planet, bro. I fell asleep right in that motherfucking lawn chair after like 10 minutes in. Shouts out to the message he was saying. Shouts out to everybody that was there. Black unity, black
Shout
love. But
out to
that
the Million
motherfucker
Man March.
Farrakhan could talk.
That was a moment in Black history right there. The Million Man March 1 and 2. Word up. Shout out to that. Joe, what you got for him?
Um, so for me, it was less of a civil rights moment and more of just like a kind of a coming to an understanding of knowing like my history, right? And I think the first time that I read on the history of Dr. King and how how like his like ascension was like when he was a kid, how like he like fucking got his college degree as like a teenager, and then he fucking just he goes down to fucking to Selma, and just like the stuff that he wrote, like the prison letters, like I was really weird. You know, I went to private school as a kid, and so we got to read just like a lot of like the raw shit that like Dr. King wrote in prison, and it was really difficult to understand as a kid some of the stuff that he was saying. And as I got older, to me, like the true like moment of like black excellence is just seeing this guy who looks like me and who captured not just the imagination of the entire country, right? Because Dr. King is a national hero. He raptured the entire imagination of the entire world, yo. Like it's crazy. This dude, he went over to different countries, and people would like bow before him because like just he was the messianic figure for our time. And I don't even think that as a culture we truly understand the breadth and gravity of just Dr. King's life. And for me, just going over the history and just knowing pretty much everything about the dude, and it's like, man, like we actually, one of us accomplished this. So much to the fact that they had to kill us, right? Which is, one would assume would be detrimental, but in this instance, it's one of those like, man, like we were really that powerful. They were really that afraid of us. And for me, just understanding that and like learning that like shit for the first time, it was mind altering. It was mind opening. There were things I didn't know that I could do, and then I was like, oh, you know what? I can do this now because one of us did.
This is Roy coming to you from Prolific Culture. We want to say thank y'all for tuning in and checking us out. Please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe so we can keep bringing y'all these dope videos. One kind of love and good vibes only. Everybody, please be safe out there and take it easy. One.
Wait, Joe, I just wanna draw a connection here. So you were in the behavioral classes in a private school?
No, no. I did some skipping around there, but yo, I went to private school when I was very very young, and I haven't learned anything since. So it just tells you that the private education is so much superior to that than the public education. Because I can tell you this, and I can tell you this with absolute truth. Listen, look into my eyes when I tell you this. Baltimore City public schools suck ass.
Well, that's a whole fact.
Fam,
You'll learn
I believe
that.
I
You'll
believe
learn that
you.
on season 4 of The Wire.
man, listen, hey, when you watch The Wire, that shit is real, my nigga.
I had an ex, and she taught Baltimore City public school. So, and she brought that shit home with her, and that shit was real. So,
Yeah.
and I was down there in the midst of that shit. That shit was real. Their school system really sucks. It's scary. Like scary shit happens in Baltimore City schools. Word up. Y'all think whatever y'all got going on, wherever y'all at, nah.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
So, for me, I'm gonna say I got a couple moments. I'm gonna try to just get them in real quick. I'm from Harlem, so I'm gonna always pump Harlem. I'm gonna always pump my town.
What street you from? What block?
You know my block. I ain't got to tell you. I'm from everywhere. Uptown, downtown, Switzerland, Bangladesh, baby. You heard. You know me, baby. But yeah, man. Harlem, the African Day, African American Day parade that go up and down 7th Avenue, Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard, as they renamed it. That's always dope to see. You know, all the black people come celebrate our culture. It's a small little parade. They run about 20 blocks, but that should be crowded. And I remember back in the days, you could see some of the hottest people there. And Hot 97 float was like one of the biggest things. You know what I mean? They bring out a performance and shit. That used to be dope. And seeing Harlem Week, it was not too before that, you know, end of the summer would be Harlem Week, where all the black shit come out and they close off the block on 135th and shit. That was dope. And another memorable, just being young and seeing like first black elected officials. Shout out to Jesse Jackson when he ran for president back in the day. I was live and a young dude to see that. Shout out to David Dinkins, the first black man in New York City. I was live, young, and able to see that. And shout out to Barack. You know, that was a memorable moment when he was inaugurated as the first black president. So for me, those are the standout moments more than anything, you know, because those are the ones that I think like history sometimes overlap, man, a little bit. Like we know Barack was the president, but I don't think that shit was still so surreal, you know what I mean, that it happened, you know. So, and shout out to Kamala, you know, being, you know, so shout out to all of that, because hopefully, I guess that means change when we start to see these black faces in these places. So that's what I like to think. I like to stay optimistic sometimes, you know what I mean? So shout out to that for the culture question, man. And thank y'all for y'all participation. And it is sponsored by whatever's in the red cup. That's my motherfucking business and not yours.
She feeling saucy, I'm feeling sturdy. I got a 4-piece, up in the 30. They tryna hold me, she like Curry. They feeling salty, I'm feeling sturdy.